Violet here, and we're back talking about historical romance books I got, and this time we're talking about Harlequin historicals, and these are all, I'd say, 90s to early 2000s, with beautiful, beautiful covers. So let's get into it. Okay, we got two Claire Delacroix. I assume that's how you say it. Yeah, so I've heard of her. I think I own a couple of her books in E now. I don't know if they're reprints of her stuff because I assume she's gotten the rights back to some of these old ones, or if I have new stuff from her. But yeah, okay. We have Roarke's Folly. It has a beautiful cover, and it's got a wraparound too. So we got the back with, she's like sewing or something like that. Very fun. Okay, so, blurb. What could a nobleman want with a woman of her station? A cloth merchant's daughter, Adela lived a life of responsibility. Little color was there to the fabric of her dreams, until the day an impudent knight, with mischief in his eyes, began to untangle the threads of her resistance. A man of principle, Roarke Langan had bargained to retain his family's honor, but he had not counted on the lovely Adela, a woman who scoffed at his seduction and fired his desire to the boiling point. Okay, so this is a medieval. I'm guessing arranged marriage? Seems like it. Cool. Love this cover. She's kind of got Rapunzel hair. Not mad about it. Not mad about it. Okay. Then we have... Unicorn Vengeance, which is apparently the third and final book in the Unicorn trilogy. I'm gonna guess this is also medieval, given the cover. I don't think he actually has wings, but we're gonna find out together. Okay. Okay. Unicorn Vengeance. Okay. All right. Drawn together by destiny. Genevieve de Perel's music echoed in the hollows of Wolfram's heart, pulling him into an unfamiliar world where his knightly vows faded to a distant murmur. The secret heir to an ancient legacy, she held him fast with the timeless power of love. With silver hair and fierce pale eyes, Wolfram stirred something raw yet beautiful deep inside Genevieve's very being. Yet the handsome warrior was responsible for her brother's death, and she swore he would never escape her righteous vengeance. Okay. Well, dang. Okay, we got, like, enemies to lovers. She's a musician. He's a knight man. As you do. Okay. Well, it certainly seems interesting. I'll say that. I can't get over this cover. I don't know where the unicorn comes in. Maybe it's like a symbol of one of their clans or something. Okay, next we got The Wedding Bargain by Emily French, which is Western, I'm guessing? Okay. Oh, and this has a wraparound too. So this is the back. I assume this is her with her kids. This is why I'm guessing it's Western. All right. Fear or Desire. Charity saw him on the auction block, chained to a post. She needed a man to help protect her land and sons, and he was the only one she could afford, for none dared bid on such a savage-looking creature. Yet the sight of him had her heart pumping with an attraction that threatened Charity's Puritan soul. An alleged traitor, Rafe Traherne, had been beaten and tortured and now was being sold like an animal. Once purchased, he'd planned to find a way to escape, but that was before he'd felt the widow's gentle touch and beheld the passion in her eyes. This sounds bonkers. So definitely Western. The type of plot, probably could not sell in trad today, but I will say I am intrigued. I'm definitely, I am intrigued. I'm sorry. Does that make me a bad person? Probably. You know, but whatever. I'm gonna live my truth. This sounds bananas. Okay. We got 2 Kit Gardners. We have the Gilded Lion. Can we talk about this man's mullet? Oh my god. Patrick Swayze who? Jean-Claude Van Damme where? And what's even funnier is that if you turn it around on the back, he lost the mullet. Where did it go? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out about the disappearing mullet in the blurb. Okay. What she didn't know about her husband was that he had a mullet, I have to assume. Okay. Sorry. What she did know about her husband. Selinaire? This whole book's throwing me for a loop. Okay. Selinaire Tremaine had married a kindly invalid, but when her husband ignited a passion hotter than flame within her, she began to wonder about the man she'd come to love. As a former spy, Christophe Wilde was used to living a double life until Selinaire. Now the only way to protect his wife from danger was to keep his secrets, even if it meant he might lose her forever. Okay, so he was lying about being bedridden, I guess, and she's like, okay, cool, but like, who are you though? And he's like, no, I cannot tell you that. You are too precious to me. Cool. Look, this sounds fun. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. And then we've got what I have to assume is a Western, Twilight. Love her color of her dress. Words are hard for me today. Okay, this is kind of a wraparound, but it's mostly like, we got this like motif of the little kiddos on the back, which is interesting. Okay. Nowhere to run. What strange twist of fate had led Rance Logan to a woman widowed by his own hand? He'd been trying to escape the past, only to run smack into it again in the form of Jessica Wynne, a fragile beauty with the spirit of steel, a woman much too good for the likes of him. Jessica's first sight of the man she knew as Stark had been over the business end of a rifle, but it wasn't long before she realized that she would trust him with her life. For though the townsfolk treated the haunted drifter as a stranger, Jessica's heart had already recognized that this was the man she was destined to love. So he, like, killed her husband, and she's like, but you hot, though. I can't fault this romance logic. Okay, we got another Western, Miranda Jarrett's Gift of the Heart. This guy's got a real cowboy hat on. We got the mountains in the back are gorgeous, I gotta say. Oh, and we got a wraparound. We have another kiddo, so I'm guessing widow situation. Okay. Rachel Sparhawk Lindsay came from a long line of survivors. She would not fail her heritage, but the snows were deep and the nights lonely until Jamie Ryder arrived, bringing strength and joy into the hidden places of her heart. The warmth of hearth and home had long been denied Jamie Ryder. Now Rachel Lindsay offered him refuge from storms without and the war within. But he knew this dream of love and family could not withstand the nightmare of his past. Ta-da! Okay, he's like hiding out or something. Maybe he's a bounty hunter and like there are people coming after him. And then we've got Muriel Jensen's A Bride for Adam. I think we have another widow situation. Oh my god. Okay, so fun wraparound at the back. Real, that Cat Martin step back energy. Wow, wow, wow. That's an impressive bathtub for, like, Western types. I didn't know they really went that in, but good for them. Okay. More than he bargained for, I bet. The bathtub, hello. Widower Adam Schofield had sent for Josie Cross to mother his girls and share his comfortable life, but the stubborn woman was not content to play the docile wife. Oh, crap. Let me just start over. Okay. Widower Adam Schofield had sent for Josie Cross to mother his girls and share his comfortable life. There we go. But the stubborn woman was not content to play the docile wife. In fact, she seemed determined to end their chance at happiness before it had truly begun. Josie's boys had been kidnapped, swallowed up by the California hills, and she'd do anything to get them back, even marry a man she'd never seen. Though it didn't take her long to realize that hurting Adam would surely tear her heart in two. Was there no other way to get, cross-country than to be a mail-order bride, girl? Man, you hate to see it, but okay. Alright, next round. We got Deception by Ruth Langan. Which she is so Ariel coded, and I love that. We do have a bit of a scene at the back as well. Like that horse. That's a powerful horse. Con artist or lady? Shane Driscoll was in desperate need of a woman, though not for the obvious reasons. The dashing lord was actually quite the ladies' man, but when capricious King Charles decided to marry him off, Shane came up with his own choice, the enchanting Lady Claire. Claire had certainly picked the wrong sheep to fleece this time. Caught red-handed, she had no option but to play her part in the nobleman's bizarre scheme. Yet acting her way through the opulent charade was surprisingly easy compared to hiding her heart from the irresistible Shane. So I'm guessing this is like a fake marriage situation in medieval-ish times. Cool. Fun. And then we got another Ruth Langan. We have Highland Heaven. Very, very dramatic here. It's almost got gothic energy, to be honest. And then we have something on the back too. Just hanging out at the castle. This is so gothic, man. Oh my god. Okay. The Campbells and Lamonts were enemies sworn. For the sake of his twin, Shaw Campbell would storm the gates of hell. Yet his brother was not in the hands of the devil, but of Merritt Lamont, a female firebrand who would defend her family's honor to the death and readily take Shaw with her. In these vengeful times of clan warfare, Merritt knew there were few men she could trust, yet there was something in the eyes of Shaw Campbell that spoke of a man of peace, a man who could all too easily capture her troubled heart. Oh, we got a twin book, y'all. Twin book. Big house, gothic castle. Sounds fun. Anne Lynn's Beautiful Dreamer. This has such pin-up energy. I think it's just how low her bust is dipping there. It's interesting. This doesn't really have a real step back. True Grit and Deep Desire. Lindy Phelan's darkest secret lay buried on the Texas range. Still, she was rock-hard determined to tame a piece of the Wild West as her own, even if it meant she had to corral the next stranger that rode over the hill. Connor O'Malley was a tumbleweed, drifting with the wind, until he landed in front of Lindy Phelan's rifle barrel and found a woman who wanted to ignite a full-blown range war with him holding the fuse. But Connor knew that more than tempers would flare if he and Lindy ever partnered up. It's I like a girl who might shoot me. Alright, we got two Elizabeth Maynes. All That Matters. Is that a dog? I think that is a dog in the back. She's rest on my cleavage. It's so comfortable like a pillow. This doesn't really have a good step back either. Cara Mulvane was the last of her clan. So it's probably Mulvaney. Cara Mulvaney was the last of her clan, and doomed to live out her days on the rugged Irish coast until the fateful night the restless sea delivered her a man with secrets to rival her own. Gordon McKenna was a man who thrived on adventure, but his thirst for intrigue had finally landed him in the heart of danger, with none but a slip of a girl to save him from the hands of his deadly enemies. So, okay, hair, I'm guessing medieval on this one, again. That dog's a little rough in the back, I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay. This one's also longer than a lot of the other Harlequin historicals. This one's in the 300-page range. Both of Elizabeth Mayne's are, actually. And here we got Heart of the Hawk. And this one actually does have more of a fun step-back situation. That is a gorgeous horse. That is an elegant, noble horse. Okay, here we go. Abducted! Incredible start. Abducted. Torn from her life of privilege and held in a ravaged Saxon keep, Thea Bellamy soon realized her true nature and found love in the arms of her captor, Roderick, a man... I'm sorry, the first thing I think of with Roderick now is Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Oh, that's good. Okay, Roderick is a man her reason cried out she should hate, but her heart could never deny. Hawk, they called him, for Roderick, Duke of Emery, soared in battle. And though the warrior had fallen to his enemy, he was determined that his people would survive, even if the price paid be Thea, the woman who had become part of his very soul. She's got such, like, her neck is doing such a, like, oh my. It's so dramatic. It's very fun. Okay, we got 3 Mary McBrides. Okay, we got Riverbend. I really love this, like, watercolorness. It's gorgeous. Bit of a wraparound here, but it's not super. It's like a train. I wish that we had more painted covers and wraparound covers. They're very fun. Mad Jessie. That's what Lee Kincannon had christened her. Reluctant debutante and adept mistress of Riverbend. Full of grit and fire, Lee suspected that Jessamine Dade could face down an army of men single-handedly. She had already near bewitched him with her heady violet gaze, and made his life seem hardly worth the trouble of keeping himself alive. Jessie knew well the sorrows that had ripped the North and South asunder. Oh no. But nothing brought the conflict so close to home as the night Lee Kincannon, dauntless riverboat gambler, and Confederate irregular, oh no, lay hidden in her bed, hovering between this world and the next. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. So, I guess he was... Okay, so this is Civil War era. Maybe he was... I guess he was in the Confederacy. Maybe he left? I'll have to confirm that, but this one might not be staying on my shelves. Okay, Fly Away Home. Please don't be another Confederate one. Gorgeous cover. Love that mullet. Again, gorgeous mullet, sir. Very Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then we've got a... Oh, no. We might have to undo this one, too, because... oh boy, that's someone on the cover, all right, doing the, I don't know. Ugh. The Savage Heart, oh dear. Annie McIntyre knew the way west led to freedom. Sure, only the wide open spaces would allow her to spread her wings and fly from the dark prison of a marriage toward the bright promise of tomorrow, into the arms of a man whose love lay buried beneath a lifetime of pain. Oh no. Okay, we're not keeping this one. Born of 2 worlds at home in neither, Apache half-breed Sam Hook was forever at war with himself. A future of loneliness as vast as the rugged New Mexico desert stretched before him until Annie McIntyre offered him her trust. Oh no, denying that a savage lurked deep within his soul? We're not keeping this one. All right, Mary. Mary, you got one more shot with me. You hear? Do you hear me? This is your last chance. Oh my God. We had 2 rough ones back to back, Mary. Good Lord. I'm pretty sure this is Quicksilver's catch. I'm pretty sure this is John DeSalvo, just with like an artist that I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's him. And we do have a wraparound. Is she wearing a black dress? No, it's purple. Okay. Very pretty. All right, Mary. Don't hurt me 3 times in a row. That's too many times to hurt me. Okay. Marcus Quicksilver moved like a mountain lion on the prowl, and if Amanda Grenville had any sense, she'd be putting miles of prairie between them instead of running straight into his arms. Even covered in trail dust, Amanda Grenville still radiated plenty of appeal. $5,000 worth, to be exact. Now, if only bounty hunter Marcus Quicksilver could keep his eyes on the prize and forget about the heiress. Okay, see, this one I think I could actually do this one. These other 2, though, they're not, I don't think they're staying with me. Okay! Susan Paul, The Bride's Portion. Speaking of, like, God, like, fantasy, like, 80s to 90s hair, like, it's like cotton candy hair. It's so beautiful. And then we do have a wraparound here. He's got such Prince vibes, you know? Not like Prince the singer, like Prince Lee vibes. Yeah. The daughter of his enemy, Lillis Llewellyn. No, Lewis Welwyn. God, that's hard. Okay, Lillis of Welwyn was the most beautiful woman Alexander had ever seen, a bride out of legend. Yet never could he claim her as his own, for he had vowed to let her go when the last of his people were free from her father's tyranny. Alexander Baldwin! Okay. Alexander Baldwin was known as an honorable knight, yet to Lillis he was nothing more than a bully who had married her for her dowered lands. A man who had not only made her his prisoner, but had slowly and ruthlessly stolen her heart. So is this like a marriage in trouble situation? Because it seems like they're already married. Interesting. Alexander Baldwin. The final Baldwin brother. Okay, we got 2 more. We have Silent Heart by Deborah Simmons. This guy, speaking of, like, romance covers, this guy looks like the Topaz Man to me, with a different, like, artist. Look at that smolder. It's like, I'm staring into the middle distance, sexily. And, oh, we got a fun clinch in the back, too. Oh, that house is on fire. Oh, my. That's unfortunate. Oh, dear. Oh, France was a bloodbath. You don't say. Caught in the madness that gripped her homeland, Gabrielle knew that keeping her head meant keeping her secrets. There were few people she could trust, yet she found herself drawn to Alexandre Vestier, a man whose silence surely guarded secrets of his own. Alexandre's muteness, had served him well until the appearance of Gabrielle St. Clair. The woman was beguiling, loving, and innocent, and consumed by a need to find her father that threatened to place her in danger at every turn. This sounds fun. This sounds really fun. Also, I shook. He's, like, actually mute. Okay, cool. Awesome. And finally, we have, like, the clinchiest post. Also, this is just Clint Eastwood. I want to be clear. This is Embrace the Dawn by Jackie Summers, and that is Clint Eastwood. That's just Clint. I don't know who they used, but it's Clint. It's Clint and someone. I don't know. Oh, and then back, we kind of got a Zorro on a horse situation happening. Very gothic art on the back. Very fun. I'm sorry, I cannot get over how that is just Clint Eastwood. That's wild. There was no escape. Ta-da. Fleeing an arranged betrothal, Anne Lowell ran straight into the arms of the infamous highwayman, the Black Fox. Yet was the man who had become her heart's desire a rogue or a noble thief who fought to restore his king? Though mask and cape hid his identity, Nat Braden? What kind of name is this? The most medieval name you know. Nat Braden. Okay, sorry, I'm a stop. Though mask and cape hid his identity, Nat Braden knew nothing could ever hide the pain in his soul. For he had sworn to fight to make up for the sins of his past, even if it cost him a future with his beloved Anne. Okay. Fun. I'm into it. That is just Clint Eastwood, though. Clint Eastwood's a highwayman, y'all. Who knew? Okay, that is all of the Harlequin historicals I hauled. We might be subtracting 2 of them for reasons. But, that was fun. I'm excited. But a lot of these I was really excited to get to. And honestly, one of the cool things about this was how many of them were not Regency/Victorian. I don't know. I think historical romance used to have a lot more variety just coming out all the time. And I think that's neat. And maybe we should return to that in some way, though not the Civil War. Okay, no, I don't trust y'all, frankly. I just don't. And maybe not the Indian ones either. Just no. Just no. Put those in a box. Those are going in the box upstairs that we don't acknowledge, okay? No. Anyway, well, thank you all so much for listening to me chat about these books. If there's any that you've, like, read of these or, like, really curious about, let me know. Maybe I'll try to, like, prioritize one of them or something. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye!